Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e and we're going to talk about the Bard. Yes, the Bard. Not really my favourite class, but as it happens I've been kind of enjoying doing these videos. We're going to talk about expertise. So the Bard and the expertise class feature that is in the Player's Handbook. So if you turn to page 54 of the Player's Handbook, there's a section on expertise, which I'm going to read out to you, and then I'm going to go through some of the sage advice, and then I'm going to give you an example with dice and maps and miniatures and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so here's what we've got in the Player's Handbook. At third level, choose 2 of your skill proficiencies. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make using either of the chosen proficiencies. So in other words, you are doubling it. Okay, you're not adding your proficiency again, you are doubling your proficiency. I know that seems like Fred, you're just biting hairs there, but it will make more sense later on as I start talking about the sage advice stuff. At 10th level, you can choose another 2 skill proficiencies to gain this benefit. So you can only do it with something that you are currently proficient. Okay, when you pick up your skills, you get a whole bunch of them, and you make sure that you pick ones that are related to things you have been trained in. That's essentially what it's talking about. All right, so that's the basics in the book. How does that play out with regard to something like sage advice? Well, as it happens, there's only a little bit of information on that in sage advice. So the Bard's expertise feature can't increase initiative. So if you're going to try and increase your initiative modifier for any kind of initiative check, unfortunately, because an initiative check is a dexterity ability check, not a specific skill. So when we talk about doubling your proficiency bonus, it must be for something that is a skill. Okay, there is a distinction. Ability checks and skill checks are extremely similar, but the text in the book does specify that it's got to be a specific skill. So initiative isn't, unfortunately. You can't stack expertise with the ranger's natural explorer feature. Okay, no double dipping. If you want to double dip, you can't do it here unless you get permission from your dungeon master. Okay, the benefit from expertise feature applies to passive skill checks. Yes, that's right. So the benefit from expertise and its feature applies to any passive skill check. So that means if you are proficient in perception, then you will find that your passive perception is going to be a lot higher because you're doubling your proficiency. Very, very handy. I'm sure it would have been reasonably obvious to most people. One last point to make, and that is a multi-classed Bard and Rogue with the expertise class feature. Unfortunately, the Rogue's expertise and the Bard's expertise do not stack. They don't stack. You can't put them together, even if you really would like to do so. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the table for the Bard. And the things I want to sort of point out is you'll see that you're picking it up at 3rd level. Your proficiency bonus when you're at 3rd level is only a +2, which means if you're doubling your +2, it becomes a +4. So it's +2 times 2 is 4. Pretty simple, not too hard to understand. And as you can see, the same thing will apply as your proficiency bonus increases. You just double it. So really, really handy. Make sure you pick skills that you're going to use a lot. So something like perception is really good. If you've already got the option to have something like perception as a trained proficient skill, make sure to use your expertise with that. You only get to choose it for 2, right? You'll have to wait till level 10 before you can pick another 2. So perception gets used a lot. So I would suggest doing that. Of course, you don't have to. Now, for our example today, our example is going to be using the Bard at 3rd level that you can find in the, well, should I say not in the, but on the Dungeons & Dragons official website. There's a location where you can find pre-generated character sheets. I have put the link down in the description so you can find it So it shouldn't be hard to find at all. And down there, you will find a link to that. Now that's the character I'm using. It's supposed to be like a half-elf bard, and I know that the miniature I've selected is not a half-elf bard, but bear with me. Now that particular character is proficient with the following skills. Arcana, it's got +3, it's got an athletics of +1, it's got an acrobatics of +5, and it's got a deception of +7. You might have already guessed that deception is the one that expertise has been applied to. Okay, now the calculation for that is as follows. Your charisma is a 16, your modifier is a +3 when it's a 16, there's the 3. Okay, your proficiency bonus is a +2 when you are only level 3, and we're doubling it, so multiply it by 2, so 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and add that to 3 and we get 7. So that's the calculation for that one. If we work our way through here, history is a +3, insight is a +4. Now insight is a wisdom based skill, right? Wisdom based. Now this particular character doesn't have a high wisdom, so it's been applied here. It's a +4, so the proficiency bonus of +2 has been doubled. Perception is a +2, so that's a proficient skill, but expertise was applied to deception and insight. Performance is a +5, persuasion is a +5, and sleight of hand is a +5. Okay, so that's what we've got. I know it's an awful lot of skills. I was trying to figure that out myself, and in the end I decided not to worry too much about it. So my example for today is the jungle temple. We are deep in the jungle. There's a lot of snakes and insects, mosquitoes, general just cacophony of birds making all sorts of noises. And our adventurers over here, our party, are making their way towards this ruined temple. They want to get inside. Unfortunately, as they are sneaking up towards it, they discover there's a Gorillion hanging around in this area. And it kind of seems like it's on guard. It's got one hand that's poking itself. The other hand is sort of picking its nose. The other one is trying to stick food in its mouth. And the other one is scratching its butt. So they figure, well, this is a bit of a problem. It's probably going to see us if we try to get in there. We don't really want to fight it. We're only level 3. It's a Gorillion. Gorillions aren't exactly something we want to sort of tangle with. And the bard says, it's all right. I have the spell Invisibility. I will cast Invisibility on myself once I've snuck away so it can't hear me casting the spell. And then I will sneak around the other side to the other bushes on the other side. And I'm pretty sure it's mating season for the Gorillion, so I'm going to make the mating call, okay? I'll do the mating call, and that will allow me to draw the Gorillion after me. I'm invisible, so it can't see me, and I will draw it away from the jungle temple, and you can make your way inside. Once I've lost the Gorillion in the jungle, I'll come back and meet up with you guys inside the temple. How's that sound? Now, a few people were like, you're splitting the party, sounds like a bad idea, but in the end, they'll let the bard do it. So that's what the bard does. Turns invisible, goes back, comes around here, and they position themselves over here, and they control, oops, too far over. Let's find a square we can actually see on the map. There we go. Still in the cover, okay, stealthed up, invisible, and decides to make the mating call of a Gorillion. What does the sound of a Gorillion mating call sound like? I don't know. Is it it's beating of chest? Who knows? Some sort of monkey noise. What it means, though, is we need to make a deception check. Okay? We're making a deception skill check. And because we are using expertise on that particular skill, we got a better chance of being successful because we get a +7. Grab that 20-sided dice, roll that sucker. I got a 20. Whoa! So 20 plus 7 is 27. Now I'm comparing this to the insight or passive insight of my Gorillion, which is 11. So it's more than enough to pass, the bard has passed themselves off as a Gorillion. Must be really able, it's got that deep voice. Oh, who knows how it's done. Okay, so the Gorillion starts making its way in the direction of the bard. Okay, the bard sneaks off, still invisible, and our Gorillion sort of follows the general direction, looking for whoever is making the mating call. And of course our bard can continue making those noises, continue to draw the Gorillion away from that location, which now leaves it open for the party to sort of make their way into the temple. Very, very nice. That was nice and easy. Piece of cake, nothing to it. A little bit of trickery goes a long way, right? A little bit of trickery goes a long way. So that is essentially expertise in play. Okay, I gave you a simple skill check as an example, and how you use it in your game is really up to you. The skills that you pick in terms of the ones you think are the most important, have a really good hard think about it. I would suggest to you that things like deception's good, perception's good, stealth is always nice if you have proficiency already in stealth. Getting to double your proficiency for stealth is awesome because it's a skill you will use a lot. Perception and stealth are used a lot. But like any character that you build for the game of Dungeons and Dragons, you build it on the character concept that you think is most suitable. Now, if you found this video helpful or informative, please share and like the video. Subscribe to my channel if you found this useful in any way whatsoever. Also hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. If you want to support me, you did so watching this video. I have hundreds of videos and you're welcome to go and check out some of those. I have a series on the Bard, so check out some of those videos. There's a playlist on my channel so you can find them. Now, I don't do Patreon, but down in the description you'll find affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon where you buy stuff online. I get a small commission and that allows me to make these videos and get more stuff in terms of gear and upgrade my production essentially, and just keep doing things. Now, if you want to ask questions, give feedback, or just say hi, that's what the live chat's for. But if you're not part of the live chat, use the comment section. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.